Welcome back to Singer Dad Reacts. My name is Josh, and special welcome to all of you Lara Fabian fans. Sorry it's been so long since I've done a Lara reaction. I also am doing a new thing now where I'm saying a phrase, hello my friends, in the language of the artist that I'm doing reaction for. So, let's see how well I can do here in French. Bonjour mes amis. So hopefully I got that right. I looked it up and tried to get the phonetic pronunciation for that phrase. So with that, I'm going to move on to the lyrics here so we can get through that and move on to the reaction. So this is Broken Vow, of course, and the lyrics are, tell me her name. I want to know the way she looks and where you go. I need to see her face. I need to understand why you and I came to an end. Tell me again. I want to hear. Who broke my faith in all these years? Who lays with you at night when I'm here all alone? Remembering when I was your own. I'll let you go. I'll let you fly. Why do I keep on asking why? I'll let you go. Now that I've found a way to keep somehow, more than a broken vow. Tell me the words I never said, show me the tears you never shed. Give me the touch, that one you promised to be mine. Or has it vanished for all time? I'll let you go, I'll let you fly. Why do I keep on asking why? It repeats there, and dream of you and I. And then I realize there's more to life than only bitterness and lies. I close my eyes, I give away my soul to hold you once again and never let this promise end. Why do I keep on asking why? I'll let you go now that I've found a way to keep somehow more than a broken vow. Yeah, again, she does really deep songs. Her lyrics are always very profound and very deep, meaningful lyrics. You can tell she feels things very deeply. It's probably why she and Dimash get along so well and really are close to each other because of the way that they feel deeply, and they love to really chew on the meat of the song, if you will, right? Of the lyrics. There's more to life than only bitterness and lies. Give me the touch, that one you promised to be mine, or has it vanished for all time? I'd give away my soul to hold you once again. I mean, that's pretty deep. When someone says something like that, that's a deep love. So the thing that I hadn't realized when I was doing a little more research on this song is that this song had been sung as well by Josh Groban, so I hadn't put that together, that he did a cover of this. So I'm sure when I listen to it, I'll hear some of that familiarity from having heard his version. But yeah, let's get right into it. I picked the one from Lara with Love. That's the one that you guys, a majority of you have recommended, so hopefully that's the right version of the performance here. And as I've said before, if you haven't already, if you could please subscribe. Click on the notifications bell there to get notified of any of my new reactions. Thank you.
I truly believe it's impossible to explain how you genuinely write a song. Something happens that I can't say with words. It's like something crosses my body. A melody comes out of me, and then suddenly that melody speaks. There is something magical about that. There is something you can't explain that goes through you like a storm, like something blossoming, like why are we here and breathing and alive? I don't know that. I just know that when that happens and you really get that inspiration, it can't be replaced by anything.
Thank you. I would like to finish this very special moment with a special song. And I like to put myself back into that moment where there was 100 musicians, a wonderful conductor, and one of those songs that I believe you don't write often in your life. The song is a special song. It talks about betrayal, but it talks about forgiveness. I hope you're gonna like it. It's called Broken Vow.
Tell me her name, I want to know the way she looks and where you go. I need to see her face, I need to understand why you and I came to an end.
See how she kind of closed off the end there at the very, on the end. So these are just little things that she does there stylistically to add her own flavor to it. Let me go back a little bit.
To understand why you and I came to an end. Tell me again, I want to hear who broke my faith in all these years, who lays with you at night when I'm here all alone, remembering when I was your own. I let you go,
Beautiful.
I let you fly. Why do I keep on asking why? I let you go, and I find a way to keep somehow more than a broken vow.
Did you see how when she sang the vow, her mouth was actually kind of closed? This is one of the things you'll kind of notice with singers, and sometimes vocal coaches will point it out. But just because someone has their mouth a little bit closed, it doesn't mean that the sound is not necessarily open, right? This is one of the things that I learned when I was getting my classical training and singing in choirs and things like that, a cappella groups and things, is that you can even hum and open the sound up by simply opening the cavity inside. So that's a very open hum. Whereas if I just close everything down, so that my mouth was fairly closed, instead of having an open cavity inside. So you can kind of hear the difference there, hopefully, in the openness of the sound. But that's kind of what she did there with vow. So she had her, you could see her teeth kind of together. So she was more like, vow. But va, but it was an open sound, right? Instead of va. So it's hard for me to kind of close it off because I'm just I naturally tend to kind of want to open it up. But yeah, so it makes a difference there as far as how open everything is inside, and how your soft palate's lifted and things like that, that give it more resonance. And so you can close your mouth and then open things back here, and it's still fairly open and resonant as far as the sound. Obviously, if she had opened her mouth like this, it'd be interesting to have her do that. Like if she had done that to the natural course of the vowel, where she started off and then she opened her mouth toward the end, you'd hear it, the difference there. Like va, you can hear like the difference in the sound, right? So just something I noticed there as far as the way that she was choosing to do that. And there's different reasons people have for doing things like that, but it adds its own. Again, it's from my early days of reacting, where I talked about the paint brushes and the palette of paint and all the various brushes of different sizes. That's really what you have available to you when you're performing, is the ability to paint your own picture, to use different strokes and colors and brushes, and really do it however you'd like, to give it its own organic texture and form, right? So that's what she's doing here. I'm going to rewind so you can kind of see what I'm talking about with the vowel part. So she's choosing, she has other vowels where has this ow sound or this o, sound, and she's choosing to open up, sometimes a lot actually, on these other vowels that she's singing, but on this broken vowel part, she's choosing to kind of keep things closed a little bit. So I'm wondering if she's doing that on purpose to kind of make a statement there about the importance of these two words in the song, but also kind of, broken vowel is kind of closed off or not as open, and it's been locked out, that type of thing. If there's some kind of symbolism there, I don't know. I could just be reading too much into it, but it is interesting to me that for those two particular words, she's choosing to approach her placement this way. So I'll go back just a little bit here.
I close my eyes and dream of you, and then I realize there's more to life than only bitterness and lies. I go
So this part right here is important to the song, and I've talked about this before, because as a performer, sometimes you have musical interludes that come like in 2/3 of the way through the song, which it looks like this one is, or halfway through, or whatever. And so you have to figure out, okay, what are we going to do? If it's a duet or something, or if it's just you, what am I going to do? And I think my wife and I had a duet like that in college, and we had to, it was a song like where kind of an older couple was singing to each other, right? And so we decided to do a little dance. So we had our own little choreography, and during our little musical interlude, we did a little dance together. And that's what we did. But you have to kind of, we stayed, of course, in character and all that, and that's what you have to do, that she's doing here actually, is figure out some choreography or some blocking or something that you do to add to the performance that is in character and fits in with the feeling of the song. So let's go to the beginning of her little choreography here. So she's turning her back and then coming back to him. That was a beautiful performance. And she has a really good grasp of how to create a nice resonant sound. I'm very impressed by that. And like I said, during the course of the performance, it doesn't seem to matter whether her mouth is open or not, but she's still, just like at the very end there, right? When she was, I think, on an ooh. But her mouth was barely open. It was only open like, ooh. You could barely even see that it was open. But she still had the resonance coming through in the sound. And I love that she really puts her whole heart into her performances. I mean, you can really feel the power of the lyric as she sings and performs it, right? She's, of all of the artists that I've reacted to, she's definitely one of the ones that is strong on that front as far as really just feeling the song and carrying that through in her performance and relaying the message of the lyrics to those who are listening. And that's not an easy thing to do, especially, I mean, she's probably performed this song many times. It kind of reminds me of the Broadway performers that perform the same, like I think Michael Crawford performed Phantom of the Opera. He performed as Phantom for that particular show, I think like close to 450 times or something like that. So how do you bring that feeling to the performance each and every time? And here's to tie in with Michael Crawford. So when I was in high school, we traveled down to LA, and I saw Michael Crawford portray Phantom. And it was a life-changing moment for me, because it was like I came in with this whole notion that the Phantom was the bad guy, and, boo on the Phantom, right? And having it out for the Phantom type thing, right? And by the end, in that touching scene at the very end, where you see his humanity and you see what he's gone through and how he's suffered, and how I was really touched by that. And Michael Crawford brought me to tears with his portrayal of the Phantom at the very end of the show, and it completely flipped me from what I had thought before. And I realized here is a powerful performance. Here is an actor, a performer that can really bring something special to each and every performance and touch the people that are in the audience in a special way and portray the humanity of that character and teach us something about ourselves in the process. And I carried that through when I performed as Inspector Javert for Les Mis, because I think the same notion is true of a lot of people with that role. They think, oh, Javert, he's the bad guy. And so my goal, as I've mentioned before, I think on my reactions, was to really change people's minds about Javert in the way that I perform the character, and bring that power to the performance. And this is to kind of tie in with this reaction with Lara, is she's this type of artist. She's this type of performer that she's able to really feel it and bring the feeling through and relive what it was that brought those lyrics to mind, right? And that's really what it is. She's written the lyrics from something that she experienced, whether, a breakup, or someone that broke her heart, or someone she's had to forgive, or a combination of all of those, and putting it into the lyrics in the song itself. And so she's able to really tap into that and bring that, and you could hear the emotion kind of coming through in her voice a little bit toward the end there. And that's really a great gift that she has there, to be able to allow you to hear the emotion coming through, but yet not allow it to come through and disrupt the performance or get in the way of the notes or anything like that. So that's not an easy thing to do as a performer, to allow the emotion to come through just enough where those who are listening can hear it and feel it and be touched by it, but yet not have it detract from the performance. So props to Lara for that. She's amazing, and really just a pure resonant tone to her voice. And you guys recommended this one because you said she goes a little bit higher with this one, and she did, and really showed a little bit more of a range in the upper side, and very impressive. And again, it feels like she's an artist that doesn't really go out there to try and, impress everybody with her huge range or anything like that. She just goes out there to really share the tender message of the song. So thanks again for the recommendation. I love her. She's an amazing artist, and I look forward to more reactions. So continue to recommend in the comments below others that I would enjoy. And if you haven't already, if you could please subscribe. And if you could also check out in the description below, I'm going to put links for my Patreon, Instagram, Facebook, down below in the description. So if you could go and visit those, and if you would like more exclusive benefits, check out my different tiers, the different offerings I have out on my Patreon. So again, thank you all for your support. I hope that we can all kind of follow the words of this song and forgive when it's needed those who may have wronged us or have hurt us, and find a way to heal through a lot of that happens to us in our lives, and just choose to be kind and loving to everyone around us. And hope you're all doing well and you're happy and healthy. Take care.